Live Nation is unique in that we touch 500 million fans globally in 40 countries every year. In our work to get closer to the fan, a lot of that work means data and more data. How do we know what the fan wants, what concerts they've been to, what food and beverage they like? All of that data requires computers and storage. And so as our data grows, we need the ability to grow our infrastructure with it.
Why are we spending our time running data centers? Why are we spending our time monitoring disk utilization, looking at network switches, routers, and firewalls, and paying for air conditioning, and all of the elements that go into running a data center? Those are not strategic to us as a company. They do not serve our fan base, and they do not serve the artist, and they do not serve our employees. AWS gives us an opportunity to experiment that we didn't have in a traditional data center, to bring up an environment and maybe try out new software, try out new techniques and technologies that we couldn't do before. The #1 positive impact in moving to AWS has been agility. We have the ability to spin up an environment, to do a proof of concept, or to do a side project, a small project, rapidly, turn that around, and then shut the environment down. We could not do that in the data center. In AWS, when you size your EC2 instances, there's a lot of forgiveness there. When you go to run your application, if it doesn't perform well, you shut it down, you select a new EC2 instance size, and you bring it back up. And you haven't spent any additional money. There's no CapEx expenditure associated with that.
AWS is going to spend more on security than we can ever afford to spend. So we are actually moving to a more secure environment.
We're currently using Oracle Financials, and we needed to determine, will Oracle run in the cloud? Will it run in AWS? And so the very first thing that we did, instead of going down a lot of different paths, we jumped into a proof of concept. What we found is, compared to the system running in our data center, we saw results of 200% improvement when looking at number of concurrent connections to our financials. From a performance standpoint, we had 2 specific processes that were taking 3.5 hours each, and those are now running in 10 minutes.
Choosing one cloud provider allowed us to become experts in that cloud and to do all of this work ourselves.
We rebranded our infrastructure team as Cloud Services. We trained all of the members of that team, and they all became AWS certified. And that allowed us to do this in 15 months using internal resources.